Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is just going to be another one of those kind of stream of consciousness stream of consciousness videos that I'm putting out there. Again, I'm kind of, trying to come up with video ideas right now, and I'll admit they're coming slower this year for some reason. Um, but this is something that I kind of was talking about with um, some buddies, and it wasn't really a conversation as much as it was just me kind of pondering, you know, do you ever feel like some years you can just kind of tell that they're not going to be a big year for music or for new music? Now, I know a lot of people in the vinyl community, there's kind of a thing with the vinyl community, where people are like, oh, I don't need to listen to new music. You can't find new music anywhere, blah, 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 blah. And to that I just say bull, because there's a ton of great new music out there. It's just not getting the radio play that we think of when we think of the Eagles, the Beatles, Zeppelin, Fleetwood Mac, all those bands that had radio hits. That's not a thing anymore. It's just not, and we have to come to accept it. Those of us that like to listen to the old rock and roll, old jazz, folk music, all that stuff, it's not going to be on standard radio the way that we used to know it. Now, obviously, there are exceptions to the rule. I won't be getting into all the artists that can be filed under that category. I'm talking to you, Mumford and Sons, but this year, 2026, feels like it's been a slow start for me for artists announcing records that I'm interested in. And again, this is not a video for people that, are focused only on a couple of bands, because they're like, well, of course you're not going to have great music, if you're somebody that just listens to, 60s music, you're not going to be getting new albums this year. Like, you're going to get the new Ringo Starr album, if Paul McCartney comes out with something, you'll get his. And then that's about it. But there are so many artists putting out music that I love. Again, you follow my channel long enough, this isn't just Americana. I love power pop. I love jangle pop. I love country. I love bluegrass. I love some hard rock. I like gospel music. There's a lot of different types that I really enjoy. And as a result, I kind of have to fall victim to the fact that my wallet might be spread a little bit more thin than those of you that just like a certain genre or type of music. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with liking a lots of different music, because even just this past week, I went through a bluegrass phase where I just wanted to listen to bluegrass music. And then all of a sudden, boom, it hit me. I wanted to listen to like bubblegum pop. So I was listening to stuff like the Buckinghams and Herman's Hermits and stuff like that. And now I'm still kind of in that, kind of throwback kind of Beach Boys feel. And that's just, it's a day by day thing. There are some days where I listen to jazz for half the day. If it's a rainy day outside, that's what I want to listen to. All that to say, so far this year, I have purchased, I believe, 2 new records. Now, one of those records is a 10-inch by my friend, kind of. I've met him a few times. One of my favorite artists, Pokey Lafarge, put out a 10-inch record, 6 tracks on his new record label called Boxer Boy Records. And it's great. It's 6 songs. It's just him on the electric guitar, a couple of covers, some original stuff, and it's great. Well, at the end of the year, will I count that as a favorite release? No, because it's not a full record. In this day and age, a lot of these artists that don't have the funds necessarily to print a ton of records, they'll put stuff out in small doses. They'll do a digital release only and that sort of thing. And that's hard for me to start keeping up with, is when you have, your digital releases, you have, extra tracks on an album that it's only available digitally. I can't keep up with all that. I'm not a digital music listener. I'm not a fan of it. So stuff like that, I just kind of let go by the wayside. But I picked up that, and then I picked up another record by a group called the Olympians, which is kind of like the cinematic instrumental kind of music, through the Plaid Room Records company. But other than that, I've got a couple of albums that I know I want to get. Like I said, Ringo Starr has an album coming out The Lemon Twigs have a new album coming out that I'm very excited about. I'm interested in the new Noah Kahan record, kind of a new indie but mainstream singer-songwriter. Um, but out of those three, I could see the Lemon Twigs being one that I'm like that could have potential for album of the year. I don't have high hopes that the Ringo Starr album is going to blow me away. I don't have high hopes that Noah Kahan is going to blow me away because um, sometimes his lyrics just appeal more to like a younger audience than me, which is fine. It's great. He fills up baseball stadiums. I personally can't get into the lyrics the same way my sisters can, or other people that are younger than I am can. And again, that's fine. I enjoy a good part of his music. Some of it I'm kind of iffy on, but that's okay. But I'm not seeing a lot of my favorite artists put be out. I'm not seeing them putting out new music this year because, I love the Avett Brothers. They just put out a record in like the second half of last year with Mike Patton. One of my favorite groups, Watch House, they just put out a new record last year. There's potential, and again, there are others that are coming out with stuff too. Casey Musgraves has an album coming out, which I'm going to be getting. There are others, and there's potential for others that I really like that have records coming out. But as of this point, which is March 16th, 2026, I'm not seeing a lot of music right now that's really exciting me, with the exception of the Lemon Twigs. Maybe that's just a me problem. Maybe I'm missing out on a lot of stuff. But again, I like a lot of artists, and I'm okay with, the kind of grouping of artists that I follow right now being the ones that I purchase records for. If I keep expanding, I know it's going to kill me. But yeah, anyway, this is just rambling. There's no really rhyme or reason to it. I'm interested to see your conversations. If you want to make a response, you're welcome to do that. I would love to see it and let me know that you did. But yeah, is 2026 looking like a good year for new music for you, for the artists that you love? Let me know in the comments. Those of you that want to talk about it, I would love to chat with you about it in the comments. So that does it for me, everybody. Kind of a weird short video, but let me know what you think. In the meantime, y'all be good, take care, and we will see you on the next one. Bye now.